Justine, I did it again. I opened up my notebook from January, looked at my list of goals for the year, and I realized I have accomplished absolutely nothing.
Oh, Alex, please do not tell me you are having a mid-year crisis already. What was on the list?
Well, according to this piece of paper, by this time of the year, I was supposed to run a half marathon, learn how to speak conversational French, and wake up at 5 a.m. every single day to meditate.
Okay, and let's be honest with our listeners. What have you actually done?
So far, I have run exclusively to the refrigerator. The only French word I know is croissant, and my alarm clock is my worst enemy. I hit the snooze button at least 6 times every morning.
Well, hey, knowing how to order a pastry is a very important life skill. But seriously. Hi, English learners, and welcome back to the Daily English Buddy podcast.
Yes, welcome back. This is your safe, cozy little corner of the internet to learn natural, everyday English through real conversations. I'm Alex, currently failing all of my life goals.
And I'm Justine. And as always, if you are learning English, this is a B1 to B2 level episode. That means you can just relax, slow down, and not worry about understanding every single word.
Exactly. Do not panic if you miss something. Just listen for the feeling and let the natural English wash over you. Today, we are talking about a topic that gives everyone a little bit of anxiety: dreams and goals.
Yes, the things we want to achieve in life, the pressure to be perfect, and why it is sometimes so incredibly stressful to think about the future, especially in today's digital world.
Oh, the pressure is real. Society tells us we always need to be productive. We log on to social media and we constantly see people achieving these massive milestones.
Wait, let's pause right there. Milestone. That is a fantastic word for our listeners to notice. Alex, what exactly do we mean by a milestone?
A milestone is a very important event or achievement in your life or in a process. Like graduating from university, getting married, buying your first house, or finally passing your English fluency exam.
Right. We see everyone else posting their milestones online, and we immediately feel like we are falling behind. It is the classic comparison trap.
It really is. You open LinkedIn and someone you went to high school with just became the CEO of a tech company, and you are sitting on your couch eating cereal for dinner.
Exactly. But let's talk about the difference between a dream and a goal, because I think people confuse these two all the time.
That is a really good point. A dream is usually a big, beautiful, abstract idea, like, I dream of traveling the world. It sounds wonderful, but there is no plan attached to it.
Mm-hmm. A goal, on the other hand, is a dream with a deadline and a strategy. A goal would be, I am going to save $200 every month so I can buy a plane ticket to Italy next September.
Which brings us to a very common phrase in English, the bucket list. This is huge when we talk about dreams.
Yes, a bucket list is a list of things you want to do or experience before you die. Before you kick the bucket, which is a very old, informal idiom for dying.
I am fascinated to know, what is on your bucket list, Justine? Do you have anything crazy on there?
Well, I really want to see the Northern Lights. I think that would be magical. And I would love to write a novel someday. What about you?
I really want to go skydiving. I am completely terrified of heights, but I feel like I just need to do it to prove to myself that I can.
Skydiving? Absolutely not. You could not pay me $1 million to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
It builds character. But honestly, I think the biggest problem we have when setting goals is that we set the bar too high. We bite off more than we can chew.
Oh, that is a perfect idiom for today. To bite off more than you can chew. Let's break that down for the learners.
It literally means putting too much food in your mouth at once so you can't swallow it. But we use it to mean that you tried to do a task that is way too big, or you take on too many responsibilities.
Exactly. Like your goal to run a half marathon when you don't even enjoy jogging. You bit off more than you could chew.
Okay, yes, you don't need to remind everyone again. But it happens with language learning all the time, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I see English learners do this constantly. They start out highly motivated and they say, I am going to study English grammar for 3 hours every single day, and I will be perfectly fluent in 2 months.
And what happens? By day 4, they are completely exhausted, they hate the language, and they quit. They experience total burnout.
Burnout is so dangerous. For our listeners, burnout is a state of complete physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion. It happens when you have been working too hard or stressing too much for a long period of time.
It is such a prevalent issue today. We live in this era of toxic productivity. If you aren't starting a side business, going to the gym, and learning 3 languages in your free time, society makes you feel lazy.
I completely agree. Sometimes just surviving a busy week at work is enough of a goal. We really need to normalize smaller, more realistic goals. We need more stepping stones.
I love that phrase, a stepping stone. Think of stones in a river that you step on to get to the other side safely. A stepping stone is a small action or stage that helps you make progress toward a much larger goal.
Right. So instead of a language learner saying, I will master all English tenses this weekend, a healthy stepping stone would be, I will listen to a 20-minute English podcast while I drink my coffee on Tuesday.
That is so much more manageable. You get a little burst of dopamine, that happy chemical in your brain, when you actually complete the small task.
But Alex, what happens when we inevitably fail? Because failure is a huge part of chasing any dream. What happens when we fall short?
To fall short. That means to fail to reach a standard or a goal that you set for yourself. And let me tell you, it hurts. It is deeply disappointing.
It does. When you put your heart into something and it just doesn't work out.
But the mindset shift I am trying to learn right now is treating failure as data. It is just information. When I fall short of a goal, I try to look at it objectively and ask, okay, why did this happen? Not, why am I a terrible, lazy person?
Wow, that is incredibly healthy and mature of you, Alex.
Thank you. I mean, in the exact moment of failure, I still want to cry and eat an entire pizza. But the next day, I look at the data.
Okay, that sounds much more like the Alex I know.
We also have to talk about procrastination. This is the biggest enemy of our dreams. Procrastination is when you keep delaying something that you must do, often because it is unpleasant or boring.
Oh, I am the queen of procrastination. If I have to write a difficult email for work, suddenly my apartment has never been cleaner. I will scrub the floors just to avoid doing the actual task.
Yes, productive procrastination. You do other, easier tasks so you don't feel guilty about ignoring the big, scary goal.
Exactly. But for our listeners out there who are dealing with language learning goals, procrastination is normal. Falling short is normal. Feeling burnt out is normal.
The key is to just come back to it. Language acquisition is a marathon, not a sprint. And speaking of coming back to things,
Before we wrap up, let's remind our audience that they don't have to navigate this tricky vocabulary alone. We have a free PDF study guide for this exact episode. It includes all the key vocabulary, idioms, and key phrases we are talking about today, plus a quiz to test your memory. The link is down in the description.
Yes, definitely check that out. It is a great stepping stone for your English goals. Well, before I go back to avoiding my French lessons, let's slow down and do our calm little word tour. Let's go back through the most useful vocabulary and expressions from today.
Yes, let's do it. Our first word is a great noun, milestone. A milestone is a very important event or point in the progress of something.
For example, passing her B2 English exam was a huge milestone in her career. Repeat, milestone.
Milestone. Next, we have the phrase bucket list. A bucket list is a list of things you want to do or places you want to visit before you die.
For example, visiting the Grand Canyon has been on my bucket list for years. Repeat, bucket list.
Bucket list. Now, moving into idioms. Our next phrase is to bite off more than you can chew. This means to try to do a task that is too big or too difficult for you.
For example, I offered to cook dinner for 20 people, but I definitely bit off more than I can chew. Repeat, bite off more than you can chew.
Bite off more than you can chew. Next is a very serious modern word, burnout. Burnout is a state of physical and emotional exhaustion caused by long-term stress, usually from work.
For example, to prevent burnout, she started turning off her work phone on the weekends. Repeat, burnout.
Burnout. Next is a very positive phrase, stepping stone. A stepping stone is an action or event that helps you make progress toward a larger goal.
For example, he used the junior programming job as a stepping stone to eventually work at Google. Repeat, stepping stone.
Stepping stone. And our final phrase for today is to fall short. This means to fail to reach an amount or a standard that was expected.
For example, the company's sales fell short of their expectations this year. Repeat, fall short.
Fall short. Those are such useful phrases for discussing your future, your plans, and even your setbacks.
They really are, and I think the big takeaway from today's episode is to just be kind to yourself. Dreams are wonderful, but your peace of mind is more important than crossing things off a massive list.
I completely agree. Focus on the small, daily stepping stones. And if you fall short, just try again tomorrow without being too harsh on yourself.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you felt understood or just learned something new, don't forget to like this episode, subscribe, and share it with a friend who always bites off more than they can chew.
And tell us in the YouTube comments, what is one small, realistic goal you have for this week? Not a marathon, just a small stepping stone. We want to read all of them.
Take care of your English and take care of yourselves. I'm Justine.
Wait, no, I am Justine.
See, I am failing at everything today, even my own name. I am Alex.
Keep practicing and please be nice to yourselves today.
Bye, everyone.